Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you two. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo sores. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is. And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything.
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous. Oh, it's like he didn't even try.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my duty to say something.
All right, whatever. Anything else?
You... What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done and promise me you'll stay put?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave her there to die. That's not who I am.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wyna prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to listen to their elders.
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say? I'm supposed to be your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so darn annoying?
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
About that.
If only Tone Gift Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking for trouble. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting about the situation we're facing. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal. You can leave the complicated matters to me.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf.
There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate, so much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on my own feelings.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes. And physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look.
Make sure to handle everything with care. This cup, for example, it's heavier than it looks.
This flower looks like it's thriving. You must be good at taking care of plants, Archon.
This fishing basket looks familiar.
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people of the springs.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. I have his entire set of fishing equipment, actually. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish and his meticulous plan to catch it. In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit. To him, the sea was the battlefield upon which he staked his honor.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch? That's what he asked me in the end.
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more valuable than the prize itself. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
There are so many jars and potions around here. Do they have anything to do with alchemy?
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the ability to communicate with the Night Kingdom and the Wyab. Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. Even though she appears stoic and serious, she actually has a keen sense of humor. The tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated, so she passed them on to me. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle. That's what she really wanted to give me.
Ooh, must be something really cool. What's inside?
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably expired by now.
Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head!
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of strength. This belt is a symbol of great honor within the tribe. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. It was difficult for even 2 people to lift. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still leave them gasping for breath.
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance but far lighter in weight. That is the belt you see before you. He would often wear this version when training in order to protect his waist.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time and show it off. This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The talisman brought her a lot of luck in battle. The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really been through a lot. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
At once? Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most important? Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened, but already exists.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, The first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the divine throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes, that's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes!
It's alright. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina! Are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyab is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wyab to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Wyab saved me, even though its power is weakening, so I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing really horrible things.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition you deserve.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not. Be careful out there. I'll observe the situation from here.